Hi everyone. I am so sorry that we're a little bit late getting online with our first ever Facebook Live broadcast from Book Harvest. Any of you who knows me knows that I am not a technological wizard. I am a complete Luddite. And so we did in fact figure it out, but we are 12 minutes late to the party, and I apologize for that. This is my first time doing Facebook Live ever, and I'm grateful for your patience. Hi, we are in a very different place than we were even a week ago, and I thought it would be really important and actually kind of exciting to tell you where we at the Book Harvest team are with our plans to deliver content and support to families during this challenging time of their kids being out of school and of many young children not being in daycare. First of all, if you are new to us, let me just share with you what our mission is, which is to provide books and ongoing literacy support to families and their children throughout the first decade of their child's life. We've been doing this work since 2011. We provided our 1 millionth book to children just over a year ago. We're now at almost 1.3 million books that have gone into the hands and homes of kids in our community. And we continue to look for ways to show up where parents and families are to provide literacy support to them so that every child can thrive and every child can learn to love reading and stories. I am so proud of our team, which includes 15 full-time staff, hundreds and hundreds of amazing volunteers, and of course the parents and families throughout our community who make this work real for us every day. We are living in a very big-hearted community that believes that every child should be able to thrive in school, and we're going to get there. The latest events that have happened have challenged our ways of delivering our content to families, and it's also giving us an opportunity to think about ways to innovate and be more present for families in ways that may be best for them. So I wanted to just walk you through some of the adjustments we made in the past few days to our work, and then to open it up to some questions. First of all, we are continuing to believe that children will need books during this time at home. We don't quite know how long they'll be at home, but we believe every child deserves a great bedtime story every day. We also know that many of the locations where families would be visiting normally are restricted and are off limits. And so what we've done is to set up a book Harvest Book Bank location outside our headquarters office. So nobody goes inside an office. They can shop outdoors for their free books. We are staffing very chock-full bookshelves of books for kids. If you go to our office at 2501 University Drive in Rockwood Shopping Center in Durham, you'll find the bookshelves there. Please browse them and take whatever your kids need if you can get there. We are replenishing those shelves every single day. So this is an experiment. We hope it will work and it will serve families well. I just want to address the question somebody has asked me about the books themselves and whether they might be a source of concern. Any book that's going on the shelf now has been in our boxes in our inventory for at least a week and most times much longer. Any book, we continue to need book donations at this time. Any books that are being donated to us are going to be going into our office, into a sequestered location, sort of quarantine themselves for at least a little while, for long enough that we are quite confident that there's nothing on them that could spread contagion. So we are quite confident in our ability and our... Okay, and I'm hoping I'm not having a technical difficulty here. I think I'm not. And we are very, very eager to make sure that if you have questions about that, we are able to answer them. So again, our book provision is going on at our headquarters location at Rockwood Shopping Center. You can go there 24/7. The bookshelves are out all the time and are being replenished every single day. We have our book donation bin outside as well. If you have books you'd like to donate, this is a great time to do so. We will gratefully receive your donations of new and gently used children's books in that bin. If you're sitting at home and want to donate books, it's very easy. You can go to our website and find the link to donate books online through either the Regulator Bookshop in Durham, a marvelous partner of ours. We have a wish list on their website, or through Amazon, of course, where there's also a wish list that of books that we would be grateful to have to be able to provide for our kids. If you go to our website, you will find both of those links, and we are really grateful for every book that gets donated, new or gently used. The other things to know about are, for the moment, if you are going to places like our laundromat locations and Durham Department of Social Services, Latino Community Credit Union, There are still books on those shelves. So for now, continue to go to those places if you are going anyway for conducting business. We would appreciate it if you don't go to those locations just to get books. We're trying to minimize human contact right now. So if you have a way to get to any of these locations and you only need books, come to the Book Harvest headquarters location, again at 2501 University Drive. We will keep everybody posted on our provision of books on our other bookshelf locations where people have to go to conduct their daily affairs. As we know more, the plans we have for how to continue to keep the books flowing during this important time are evolving as we figure it out. So thank you for bearing with us. I will just mention that if you are eager to find out our daily updates, our to-the-moment updates on what's going on, all you have to do is visit bookharvestnc.org on our website, and you will find a pop-up about our current situation that you can go straight to the latest information. Those of you who know and love us and know our work around book babies will know that will understand that we are switching our protocols around our home visiting to be virtual home visits. I'm kind of excited. I'm sorry for the reason, but I've been interested for a long time in how we can provide content, our much loved content virtually for families who prefer that in normal times. So there's some silver linings to this challenge. One of them is we're going to be getting the space and time to innovate some of our delivery in new ways that we might not have gotten to quite as quickly. And we'll keep you posted on what we're learning. Other things to know, we have discontinued our story times in the laundromats and the other places we were doing story times, such as Lincoln Community Health Center. We hope that won't be for long, but for now, those are discontinued. We have asked all of our volunteers to not come into the office. The office is closed for at least 2 weeks, and we will continue to look for ways to engage our volunteers through other perhaps remote and virtual opportunities to engage. One of the best things our community can do with us and for us right now is help spread the word about our weekly Facebook Live broadcast that we'll be doing every Tuesday at noon, and barring any technical problems, it will be happening at noon every Tuesday going forward. We will have an especially cute host next week, so stay tuned for details on that. We are, just to let you know, we are in active discussions with the Durham Public Schools Foundation and with DPS about how to dovetail and coordinate with the food provision situation that they're evolving right now. They're coming up with a plan for how to begin delivering meals to children who are in DPS starting on March 23rd, next Monday. We are at the table trying to figure out what that will look like in terms of how we can bundle books with the food. So I think we'll have much more information about that by next week's broadcast and certainly on our website as soon as we know it. So those are all kind of at this moment where we stand. I am immensely proud of our team. We did our first 15-person all-staff meeting by Zoom yesterday, and I was, as a technological reluctant person, I was a little bit not sure how it would go, and I have to say, we spent an hour together, and it felt like we'd been sitting around our conference table. It was really affirming how much we were able to cover material, check in on how everybody is doing, and just see each other's faces, which at this time is really important. I think everybody on social media knows that. We are saying many, many times in the Book Harvest world, social distancing does not need to mean social isolation. In fact, quite the opposite. It's a chance for us to build community in ways that we may be proud of and may continue long after this situation is resolved. I am eager for a couple of things from our community. First of all, we think this may continue for quite a while, this Facebook Live broadcast. Even once our ability to interface directly with the public has been resolved, we may want to continue it as a way to share good information. So I have a question for everybody. If you were to ask your kids what we should name this Facebook Live broadcast, we would love to know their answers. We would love to announce a winner for that naming contest in the next week or so. So that's one bit of homework. The other thing I'd like you all to do is go to our website, and if you look at the page, at the bars on the top, you'll see a page that says Resources for Families. There's a tab there that says Learning at Home. And we have been curating and having a great deal of fun surfing the content that is being developed, in some cases very rapidly, but in some cases has been there for a while, around what parents and families can do to help their kids learning at home. There's a list there of our favorites right now. And I will tell you the two at the top of the list, which I've had so much fun getting to know, and I think they have something for everybody. The first is called Scholastic Learn at Home. It offers 4 separate learning experiences based on age, from pre-K, first through third grade, through fifth grade, and then older kids, with a whole lot of content that is really exciting for kids and really well done. So if you want to demo that for us and give us feedback, we'd be grateful. The other one we'd love you to demo and just get to know is called Storyline Online. And that streams videos of some very famous people reading children's books with some pretty creative presentations. It's a lot of fun. And if you need a book to take you into nap time with your kids, or a bedtime story and you're just too wiped out from the day to be able to deliver it yourself, this may be a good substitute. And in any case, both of these are really good resources for all of us. We've got a few others on the list at our website right now, including things that we all know like Khan Academy and Quizlet. Check them out. Tell us your favorites, and let us know if you have others to suggest, because we're going to be curating this list indefinitely for now, and we're very excited to be offering this resource. The other thing I would love you to do is, if you can stream it, tell us what books you're reading right now. I'm going to start by telling mine. I have a couple of favorites right now. My first is Mo Willems' The Thank You Book. I am very struck at times like this by all the silver linings and all the things I'm grateful for. This book is one of the things I'm grateful for, because Elephant and Piggy remind us of just how great it is to have a chance to say thank you to people. And I want to thank our entire Book Harvest community right now for being so awesome, not just today, but a week ago, a year ago, back in 2011, and certainly into the future. I'm really excited by all the strength and power we have found as a community together. The other books that I'm excited about, this is one called Biblio Burro that my colleague Paola gave me. It's become one of my favorites. It's about a man named Luis and his effort to get books out to his community in Colombia on his burro. And it's just enchanting and delightful. So check it out. If you don't have it, it may be available online. It's one of my favorites. The big kids book that I'm starting to read right now, which I'm reading the first couple of chapters today, is one that everybody's heard a lot about. Ta-Nehisi Coates' The Water Dancer. It's his first fiction book. I've read everything he's written nonfiction, and I've been told by many friends that it is an incredibly powerful book, just like all his others, and he happens to do fiction as well as nonfiction. So I'm excited to check that out. Takoya Street, one of my favorite friends from the Book Babies community, has just texted me to say that Jade is reading, her daughter Jade, who's in first grade, is reading A Bug, a Bear, and a Boy Plays Hide and Seek. I will be checking that book out. Thank you, Jade. And maybe we'll have a chance for you to read it out online to our community at some point, Jade. That would be great fun. I'm seeing a bunch of streaming of people who are suggesting resources that we can add to our Learning for Parents at Home, and we'll be checking all of those out. Please keep those coming. Is anybody else out there interested in sharing the books that they have? And I would say if you don't do it now and you want to share it with us later, we can do a roundup on these next week when we are joining you again. Let me stop and just ask if anybody has any questions. I'm seeing from Heidi Tyson, our board member. Hi, Heidi. That Mo Willems is doing an online doodling session with kids. I think it takes place at 1 o'clock on Mondays. Is that right? So check that out. I believe it's through the Kennedy Center, and I think it's been really, really popular in its debut. My dear, wonderful Book Harvest colleague Nadia Porter is sharing that she and her daughter Aria have been reading Hair Love. They've read it 26 times over the past few days. You all probably know that it is a book that was based on a film that went on to win an Academy Award quite recently, and it's one of my favorite books right now. Let's see, we have a question in the chat box from Heidi Tyson, which is, what are we doing about providing books at the community locations where there's food being provided? We are in conversation with Chapel Hill Carborough Porch about getting books bundled with their book provision, with their meal provisions. And we really, really hope we'll have a similar situation with DPS and the kids in Durham starting next Monday. So stay tuned for that information. I'm scrolling through to find other questions. And Heidi is affirming that Scholastic is offering lots of great resources, not just the one that I mentioned, but there's many, many other things on the Scholastic website that I would encourage people to check out. Other questions or books that are being read right now? Anybody? Let me remind you of your homework. First of all, let us know what you think, or ask what your kids think the name of this Facebook Live broadcast should be. Come up with some fun names. We'll share them. We'll pick a winner. And by the way, I'm guessing that the winner might get free books. Not something that's hard for us to deliver on. The other thing is, let us know what other content you would like to see in this Facebook Live post each week. We have a lot of ideas on staff, but I think we'd love to hear from you what you think would be most useful to hear in this live broadcast. We've already gotten a suggestion from Jade that says this should be called Reading with Children. Love that. That's going to be the first on our list. And Heidi has corrected me to say that the Mo Willems Doodle is taking place every single day. So if you're stuck at home with kids and you love Elephant and Piggy as much as I do, I think I'm going to be pretending to be a kid and tune into this so I can doodle with Mo each day. Sounds like a really great work break for me. I think oh, by the way, my colleague Wilma is reading a very ambitious book that I have read called The Overstory by Richard Powers, which won the Pulitzer Prize this past year. Anybody who wants to do an Overstory book club, I'd love to, because I worked so hard to read that book and I'd love to be able to talk about it. Keep the ideas coming for how we share content, how we build community during this time of physical isolation, but not social isolation. Let's use this time to pioneer how we reach out and connect to each other over the love of a good story, and continue to share the kind of resources that parents and children will need in the next few weeks ahead. I want to say that's all for now. I'm going to ask my colleague Danielle Berman, who has been my producer, director, and creative handholder through this process, and who got me out of the technical difficulties we had at noon, if there's anything else we should be sharing right now before I sign off. And I see my friends popping on. Hi, Gina from Indianapolis. Hi, Lori. And Wilma's down for an Overstory book club. Wilma and I now have a book club of 2. If anybody else wants to join that, either get reading that book or by all means, let us know you're planning to read it so we can add you to the list. I think we're ready to wrap up now. Thank you all for your patience when we got online a little bit late. Mark your calendars for noon next Tuesday for our next Facebook Live broadcast. Get us your suggestions for the name of the broadcast, and think about what content you'd like to see here, and shoot me an email. I'm at ginger@bookharvestnc.org. You can, of course, always leave your suggestions in our Facebook feed. Thanks, everybody. Be safe and be well, and remember to enjoy good stories with your family while you're home. Bye.